Get more of what matters with Target Circle 360's unlimited same-day delivery.
Need life insurance? Taking the first step is easy.
What's going on? I gotta turn my volume down. Alright. Hello, everybody. I am not gonna do any animation today. I'm gonna respond to everybody. Midnight, yo, what up? Johnny, hello. Dalek, hello to you. Naylan, I think it's Naylan. Hello. Connie, hello. Smith and Wesson, there she is. There you are. Hello, hello. Julio, olale. Brother in God, yeah. Scud, hello. Great Sage, not much, boys. Up with you. Who dis? You did. But I got a little bit of news there. She's not gonna move. So all I'm really doing is an illustration today. So I got, yeah, I'm gonna do a little. It's not really an animation. Hey Kaiju, and hey Sage. It's not really a animation thing today. So I got this kind of like habit. Where I will like, I'll have like a whole like mess of things that I like, want to do, like, like animations and drawings and stuff. And what tends to happen is I'll have so many on my plate that I'll get overwhelmed and I won't want to do them anymore. Any of them, and then none of them get done. So what I'm going to start doing is actually tackling my projects one by one. So I have this drawing right here that I want to complete, and then I have another drawing that I want to complete, and then after that I am going to move on to my next animation. So this process is going to be a little different from animating. I'm focusing more on I'm focusing more on getting her values done correctly. So I can't actually show you the reference that I'm using for this because that'll probably get me in trouble. There is nudity, so I can't obviously show that to you. But you might be able to get a sense of what the well, you don't need to actually see the reference. You probably tell that I made ample use of reference for this. I would not have been able to do this from my head. If you want to see how it looked doing it from my head, this is how it looked from my head. It was it wasn't bad, but it I don't know. I was trying to do it in perspective. And something about the way I drew her here something about it wasn't working. I couldn't tell where like the vanishing point was for her. None of the perspective like cross hatch marks really added up, and the overall shape. Oh, here we go. That might help. Yeah, sorry, I think I had it a little lower. I think it's because my microphone was a little away from my face. But, what was I saying? Right, her overall shape was a little too symmetrical. I didn't like it. So I went back and I collected reference and tried her again. And, I like the shapes a lot better. So I'm going to try and get most of this done today. It's kind of like a stepping stone towards getting myself ready for my next cartoon, my next animation. I want each successive animation to have like better drawings than the previous one. To where I can actually animate, like, I can animate her looking like this. Like if I were to be able to animate her looking like this, I feel like that would get a lot of traction. So let me do this really quick. I gotta make some software changes to I have a piece of software that allows for me to utilize different hotkeys. And here we go. Cool. Let me go ahead and suspend those. Yeah, I do as well, Sage. Not using reference. Oop, I think I'm on the wrong. There we go. Let me do that now. Yeah, using reference is pretty important, because when you try to draw from your imagination, it's more of a test of what you know. And if you're not, like, I've been actively studying anatomy for a while, and it still confuses the hell out of me. So if I just try to do it from my head, it's testing my knowledge of anatomy, and my knowledge of anatomy is not like fantastic. So if you have references, it leaves a little less to the imagination and more about observation. And drawing is more about observing than it is about imagining. Imagining comes from observing. That's what makes it good. That's what makes a good drawing. So let me go ahead and get this squared away. So what I'm gonna do is I might make a couple more little like sketches here, a couple more lines to suggest some stuff. But after that, I'm gonna move on to her line work. So let me go ahead and get that going. This is not set up the way I like. It feels like my, yeah, man, my freaking my calibration is super off. Hey, how's the music volume? Is that okay for you guys? Right on, right on. So yeah, not much in terms of movement today. We're mostly just drawing a picture together. I'm gonna try to work in some tips that I've seen elsewhere, in terms of getting her lighting done right. I'm gonna try to take it a little slower. But yeah. There's no music? One second. Could have sworn I could have sworn I had music going. 1 second. One sec. Let me get this music going for you guys, because I can't actually hear the damn thing. Okay. I think that took care of it. You know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna put it on my favorite music that I play whenever I'm drawing. I really get a kick out of the lo-fi girl medieval, because it's like it's exactly an hour. So when you get through it, it's like, okay, time for a break. All right.
Looks like laundry day is today. No, hey, no.
OxiClean
Alright. Nah, don't worry, I got rid of the ads. It was just for the video itself. Alright, here we go. Nah, it was nothing. It was just an ad. What's my... And there's a lot of them. All right. Appreciate that, Evan. These things are kind of like lowbrow. We're low key. We're not really like trying to be too intense with stuff, so we're just kind of like chilling. And my chair's messed up. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna focus on her line work. So let's get the right brush. Damn, my keyboard set up like I'm animating. Force of habit. Yeah. Costume. What was that? Costume drawing. Is that like a figure drawing thing, but for clothes? All right. I got my references over here. Cool. So, let me get this going. I can actually start here. So, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure I know exactly where my light source is coming from. So in this case, it's going to be like over here. The reason I'm trying to figure this out right away is I need to know exactly how to do her lines. Because line weight's going to matter a lot here. So if if I pinpoint where the light's coming from, I can figure out where exactly it would get thicker and thinner. Right. I'm trying to find a good pencil. Let's see. That's a good thickness. Alright, cool. Okay, so. And what I'm gonna do, you guys won't be able to see it, is I'm actually gonna open up a another window and put it up on my other screen, so that way I can flip it, and then I can actually see the same drawing from two different angles, and it will help me maintain consistency. Let me actually show you what I'm talking about. So here's my main Cintiq monitor, and here is my monitor above, so I can see it from both angles. Proportions and all that stuff look okay from both angles. So I feel comfortable enough moving on to land work now. All right. So I'm just gonna go a little thinner, so allow for just a little more squiggleness. Luckily for me, when I drew this out, I already took care to maintain perspective. So there's not a whole lot of guesswork I gotta do on that front. Figure drawing with clothes is actually, in my personal opinion, it's harder than doing it naked. I am not particularly fond of clothing. It's something I still struggle with. Oh, let me get a different eraser. Okay. So what I'm probably gonna do with this line here, I'm probably gonna end up even erasing it, because there's gonna be a lot of light occurring here. And I do not like how soft her jaw is there. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna keep her ear exposed. It's kind of a habit of mine whenever I'm drawing all of my characters. I don't like hiding their ears behind their hair. But, you know, that's just me. I might even go a little thinner with the, so I'll go with a 5. You know what? Let me even change the size of this thing. I'm gonna go 2600 by 2380. Okay, go. Save this. There's no way this could be eating up this much processing power. One sec, I gotta pause this thing. Reopen it. Sorry guys, 1 second. Technical problems. Uncle Flacco, I'm sorry, I haven't answered your question yet. The main thing that inspired me to do those animations is, well, I like animating. That was the first thing. I just wanted to make a good cartoon. And the other thing is, I watched the show and I just didn't like it, and so I figured, you know, why not give it a try myself? All right, there we go. Technical problems fixed. So let me go ahead and make the window one more time. Let me go ahead and horizontal. Why do I suddenly not know where the flip horizontal is? Adjustments. View, here we go. Flip horizontal. Okay. No, it's all gonna be covered. No window. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is turn all of that off. And I'm gonna reduce the opacity of this to a little more. So that way I can get an actual sense of what we're doing. So, I'm gonna go ahead and start all of this next stuff. It's a little too... No, it's the design of her leotard. So all this is gonna be like white, and this is gonna be where the purple is. So let's go ahead and get this going again. So I got 5. All right, good. So I'm doing this much the same way that I did the animation. I just get a little more time to actually focus on the actual drawing. Yeah, for anyone that's curious, this is not an animation. This is just a still drawing. But I figured you guys probably would want to see something like that. So, and I figured, you know, it's been a couple of days since we last talked. Hey Joe, this is a drawing. We're just doing a little, we're doing an illustration today, not an animation. I figured you guys probably wouldn't want to wait until my next animation to get more of this character, so I figured I'd hook you guys up a little bit. So someone noticed already, but yeah, I not so heavily based her face on Korra, but there's definitely Korra inspiration there. Legend of Korra is to me a little bit of a guilty pleasure show. And I think Korra herself is actually not a bad character. I think if they had knowledge they were going to get a season 2, they might not have made the story choices they did. I'm actually going to go horizontal here, or flip it. So since I'm left-handed, my natural stroke direction is right to left. So in these cases it's okay to flip it. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to flip that top one. I'm making sure I remember where the sun's rays are coming from. It's okay, Lasagna. I know what you meant. The sign. I appreciate that, man. That was a that one was a battle. That one took like 3 months to make. The nice thing about that one though is it's actually closing in on like what? It's on. It just crossed like 800,000 views. So I think it's entirely realistic to think it might make it to 1 million. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Alright, so let's go ahead and put in the indentations for where the clavicles meet the sternum. So I'm looking at all this, all these drawings. I'm looking at my drawing, my rough drawing here, but I'm also looking at my reference that I have off to the side. I gotta try and merge the two together, but not be a slave to the reference. Yeah, anatomy is not something that you want to tackle lightly. If you actually want to learn it, you need to actually take some serious time to not just like practice drawing it, but learn to understand it a little. Like all of these muscles that I've drawn here, I get a basic sense of where they start and where they end. Alright, so for her face, I'm gonna go actually a lesser thickness. Right? So the mouth is not a 2D thing; it is a 3D opening. So. What I'm gonna need to do when I get to the lighting phase, I need to figure out if I'm gonna have any more facial features on her, like wrinkles and stuff. I don't think I will, just for purely aesthetic purposes. Wrinkles, they can make the drawing look a little more natural, but you also run the risk of making the character look older. And I don't imagine this character is very old. She's actually like 24 as I wrote her. So she's pretty young. Cho, I got rid of it. I kind of did. I kind of didn't want that up, and it felt kind of weird. It felt kind of weird that time. I guess I just wasn't in a very good headspace. So. Okay, so I need to make sure that her eye here maintains that perspective sense. So the bottom of the lid kind of comes up like that. Don't worry, Super. I won't forget the freckles. That was kind of a popular trait, it seems. Evan. Yikes. I don't really know the answer to that one. I guess just looking at it, it's hard to assess these things if you're not the artist. If you feel like you've used too many lines, then you've used too many lines. But I will say that it doesn't take a lot of lines to get an idea across. Alright, so... You know something kind of weird I was thinking about this character this morning? For some reason, I kind of imagined her with like a slight British accent. I don't know why, but then I started like thinking of like, you know, maybe she's like a British national or something. Alright, so we need to think about this now. So I got my mirror. I got my mirror on my desk. I need to kind of figure out what's going on with his mouth. So. Alright, so all of this is in. Yeah, right now I'm smiling to a mirror, so my voice sounds a little funny. And all of her teeth. Yeah, so we wouldn't actually see her the middle of her teeth at this angle. Oh yeah, Sloggy, I wanna go smashing with me. Nah, that was more Scottish, but eh. I meant like seriously slight. I'm not sure why, but I kind of grew attached to that idea. I might see if it's worth pursuing. Like she's lived in America her whole like most of her life. So I got this friend who's like really into comics. When I first moved out to this town where I live in now, called Benicia, he got me into D&D. I found out a little later from him, when we were all really drunk, that he's a British national. He was actually born as a military brat, and so legally, he's not even legally he is American, but he was not born in America, and he spent more time in Britain when he was a kid. And for some, he doesn't have an accent, but sometimes like some words and some ideas will slip through that just aren't American, and we'll give him hell for it. But I kind of liked the idea of maybe giving Jen a little bit of that cultural disconnect. Like she's not fully. I knew something was screwed up. Okay, so her headband back here should be like behind her head over here. So all of this should not be visible. Okay, what am I gonna do? That was a major oversight on my end. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I just won't draw that. Okay. She's not real. I wouldn't consider her British. She's American, and besides, I haven't even actually like committed to the idea yet. It was something that crossed my mind. But my friend who got me into D&D, thinking about him, kind of warned me to the idea. And it would be cool to have a character observe American culture as sort of an outsider. Sorry this part's taken so long. I do gotta be careful here though. It's just like drawing the key drawings on my cartoon. I gotta be careful how I sketch her out. I'm gonna go back and adjust all the line weights here, and I'm going to come back here later and adjust the line weights. But for now, I'm just trying to get them where they belong. Then I'll come back to them later. That should not be there. That should be like right. Yeah, that's why lasagna. That's why I usually try to stick to one layer if I can. It's less things to think about. Okay. so her eyebrow comes up like here, so it should be coming the other way. So I'm not gonna make these too thick because I want to come back. Okay, something about this eye doesn't look right. Okay, I think I see. Well, for one, it's bigger than the other one. For two, well, it's not much bigger. Still bigger. And for where it is in the picture, it should be smaller. See, that's one of the unfortunate things about drawing, is it kind of sucks. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna use the white tool. I don't feel like redrawing now. So one thing we have to remember, I'm gonna go ahead and utilize another layer for this one just to cheat a bit. So the eyeball is literally a ball. So let's comes up too high. Better. It's a lot better. I'm trying to draw and answer questions as I go, so sorry if I don't move as fast as you guys ask questions, but I will answer them as I go. Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, I mean nothing's impossible. Like I was saying earlier, I try to I'm trying to keep my overall project list small and manageable. So over here we're gonna have a little bit of her sternocleidomastoides come down here. I'll put in lines that will suggest that a little more. And I'm gonna come back and play around with the line weights on her face, but for now we're not gonna go there. Okay. So back up. Bam, 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 and bam. Alright. You have to get a lot messier with that hair, so it's not all just like one solid black, but it's okay for now. So I need to try to keep in mind that all of this is going to be in light, and this is all going to be in shadow. So, oh wait, no. Sorry, I shouldn't get carried away. Okay. I use a PC with a stylus. Okay, so here would be her pectoralis major. So then her breast tissue kind of would come out like this. So because of the angle, a lot of stuff's going to start getting hidden and foreshortened. Okay. So since she's in a unitard, all this is going to be kind of encased in fabric. That's her deltoid. So over here would come out her bicep. So one little tip I heard that I'm trying out is if you want to make muscles appear stronger, just draw them a little more rigid. Don't draw them so soft. I may not stick to that too much, but I might try to work it a little bit. Okay, so all of this is gonna be thicker line weight because this is all gonna be away from the sun. But I'm just getting it all placed there. So her deltoid wouldn't smooth out like that. It kind of force its way in like this. Okay. So all of this pretty much gonna be hidden. Place a mark there for I'm not talented at line work. I hate it. I absolutely hate line work with a darn passion. You just do it because we have to. Alright. So all of that, I'm actually gonna have her here. Do that. I want to have some sort of representation of it. Okay. I'm putting some indentations for her rectus abdominis, as they call them, otherwise known as a six-pack. Yep, it is. But I have met some people who are just supremely talented at it. I am not one of those people. See, I get my kicks out of, like, the messiness of it all. Alright, so this is going to be the edge of her obliques. This is going to kind of come out like that. So all this up here is going to be a little more hidden because of the fabric stretching over her breast tissue. So I'll leave that. Well, what's going to make this all work is going to be enveloped in shadow. So. That would be the edge of her obliques. The external abdominal oblique, as it's scientifically called. So it kind of comes up and meets with the races right here. So this is when it goes into her gluteus medius. I'm probably not gonna render this part so much. Let's see. Okay, I screwed up here. Let me go ahead and save just in case something happens and my software crashes. Which it inevitably will. Always assume your software will betray you. Save often, save always. Your old man's right. Can't tell you the amount of times I've lost hours of work to not following your old man's advice. Not saying your dad was the one who told me, but you get what I mean. Okay, so I think I'm gonna actually do this. I'm not gonna have the fabric. Breast tissue that loosely. I'm gonna actually have it kind of right oblique like that. Okay, so this right here would be her aces point. So right here we're coming down to where it goes down into her crotch. So. Might actually do is crop it a little bit to hide that. I don't want to have the crotch so visible. I'll burn that image when we get there. Okay. So you guys can see how slow I'm taking it. One piece of advice that I got from school, from my professor, was that to remember speed is an illusion when it comes to art. You see a good piece and you assume that person just really sped through it. The opposite is true. That person really took their time. Okay, so this right here, I need to start putting in some line suggestion. So what I might actually do when I get to the line weight is do that on a separate layer. So you can see what the line weight is accomplishing. It's adding just a little bit of volume to what would have otherwise been static, very static, kind of boring lines. And I screwed up. What the hell did I do down here? So all of that's going on. I was wondering what that was. Thing. Better. Okay. So let's keep it. There would be a place for Sonic's type of drawing. A good exercise. A good exercise for developing your skills is actually a very quick gestural drawing. And that's kind of a bias because as an animator, I like those very quick and dynamic poses. Alright, let me go ahead and get the other end of her breast tissue. So most of this will probably be enveloped in shadow. Also, another tip, when you're learning to draw, don't utilize smoothing. You'll see right here I've got 0% smoothing on my lines. There's something about not having any delay on your lines that helps you develop line confidence a little better. If you're utilizing smoothing, it really slows down your stroke and gives you a false sense of confidence. And so then when you turn it off, or like when you go and draw physically, your lines would be a lot more shaky. So I would stick to 0% smoothing. Smear frames are like the best. I love smears. Alright, I'm trying to go off of my reference. So the top of her pectoralis major and her clavicles would kind of come up. No, even that's too straight. It would kind of curve like that. So what that tells me is the edges of her, I believe that's her trapezius. They wouldn't be that high up. What's going on, Jarvis? Yeah, I'm just not a fan of stabilization in any form. It has a place, I suppose, if you're trying to get it done quickly, and if you're not interested in developing your line confidence. Say if you're working in like a studio or something. All right, so I'm gonna draw the edge of her clothing. I'm gonna do that in a thinner line, so that way I don't cause a lot of sameness with the line thickness. So it's gonna ride over her pectoralis major like that, and then we're gonna kind of come down over her serratus and past her lats. So boom, and then it's gonna kind of come around the latissimus like that. Thank you very much, Neil. So I'm gonna have a lot of work to do when I start defining her shapes, but that's where the lighting's gonna come in handy. So I don't know how long you guys have spent on like a singular drawing before. I'm not very keen on spending a long time on any one particular piece. But when I was over in school, I would spend roughly about 3 or 4 hours on one piece. Taking your time when you draw is really, really important. What's going on, Dominator? Alright. Let me get rid of this because I know where the sun's coming from. So let's kind of just see how it's coming so far. Yeah, it's working. Okay. So let me go ahead and go back to my normal line weight. I'm gonna keep on working on her lats. Alright, so our lats come down behind the external obliques. So in this case, the external obliques and the lats are going to be facing the light. So when it comes time to do line weight, I probably won't make many changes here. Okay. So then it kind of comes down like this. Yeah, maybe, Jarvis. I kind of don't want to delve too deep into the character and make it like my only piece of work here. But people do love it, and I do like drawing her. She's a fun character to draw. So I'm having her acis. So her acis and her sartorius kind of originate around here, so I'm just gonna kind of suggest that here. And then her gluteus medius will come down here to her thigh bone. I didn't really define it here though, did I? I envy that silly lasagna because I don't get it. I'm not really a huge fan of drawing, if I'm being honest. It's never really been something I especially enjoyed. I don't like how slopey her deltoid is. I'm gonna change that. Now it's too yeah, that's okay. Okay. Well, I wouldn't say she's a lawyer, Evan. I'd say she's just like fresh out of law school. She is technically a lawyer. It's just a very inexperienced one. But as I would write her, she's got the makings of a decent one. Okay, so here's where her bicep brachii comes down. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw out her little phone sleeve with her little hole for where the material comes down. Oh wait, hang on, before I do that, that wouldn't be right because of perspective. We would be looking up at her, so we'd be seeing a lot more of that part. And then come down there. But even that's not right. So we'd be kind of looking up like this. Ah, even that's not right. Here's how we do this. What's going on? Stop screwing with me, Photoshop. Okay, special. So what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna try to figure out why I'm not getting her perspective right. So looking up at her, you'll be seeing. Yeah, that's fine. It's not exact, but it's close enough. You went to law school before, Evan? Oh yeah, no, today I'm using Photoshop. Switching things up a little. Top 10 anime betrayals. Oh, so how was law school? So I just need to have suggestions of the thickness of her band, just to show that it's not like just a thin piece of fabric attached to her arm. So let me pull up some references that I got on my laptop, just to kind of see how other artists would tackle portraying. Where the fuck are my goddamn references? have like... Okay. I want to have it kind of come out like that. It's gonna be a little thicker up here. So one thing about the whole armpit section is you got like the intersection of like 3 different muscles. I still struggle with it. So I'm actually gonna go with... mostly for just suggestion. Alright. So I'm gonna have her bicep right like that. So I got a little bit of funkiness going on. Why do I have more layer? No, Jim, I'm not going to show you the reference. That would probably get me in trouble. Sorry. Like, I know we're all mature boys and girls here, but I'm not gonna take that risk anyway. Yeah, sorry, not gonna happen, man. So all that kind of comes down. Alright, sweet. We're actually pretty close, aren't we? Yeah. Alright. So all this looks like actually. Thank you very much, lasagna. Okay, here we go. So all of this actually. So, somewhere over here is where major comes out. So then somewhere around here is where the deltoid comes down. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's better. So I've got her, goddamn, whatchamacallem, her serratus, where her serratus meets her obliques. I gotta focus more on that angle. So it wouldn't come straight over like this, it would be more like that, that angle. So, let me go ahead and start that. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry to hear you had to defend Sony. That sounds like it pays well, but, you know, it's Sony we're talking about. know what? I'm gonna go a little low here. It's okay. I'm making another layer. So reduce that opacity a little bit. So. Oh shit, my bad, Tiger. How are ya? So a bunch of these obliques would come down. Okay. So then her lats. You know what? Let me get rid of this really quick. This is throwing me out. Is her armpit, so her lats would kind of come down. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, today, Tiger, we're just doing a drawing. We're not doing any animation today. I have time. So I finished my my freelance animation test, and I'm basically just waiting for new orders, so to speak. So I had some time to kill, and I figured I'd give you guys some more SheHulk. Like Sheldon Cooper with fun with flags. You gotta give the people what they want. Alright. So this is gonna be where what is that goddamn arm muscle called? That's one I still struggle with. It's the extensor carpi. I don't know. Yeah, I'll put on different music. I like the Resident Evil safe room, but it might be a little too dark. No, wait a minute. I'm using the medieval one. Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep it on this, man, because I like it. But I'll consider doing that. I'll consider doing that next time. Oh, I'm sorry if it's getting boring, man. I mean, I don't really understand how classical music is any less boring, but fair enough. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about the music right now, guys. If you want different music for this, put it on your headphones or something. I think we're kind of, yeah, let's see.
Transferring credits into WGU was it was a great experience. I went to 6 or 7 other universities.
I appreciate that, John.
We'll take care of it. It was seamless.
I feel like it still needs a lot of work, and you know, it always will.
Learn more.
But it's getting the job done. The anatomy skills and all. I spent a lot of time trying to get them to a level where I could I could draw her or muscular characters at an acceptable level. Okay, so all of this actually would be totally enveloped. So I would actually make that thicker. Yeah. Okay. So it's starting to come together. I'm gonna have to start putting in extra details on her body. But let me go ahead and get back to her face really quick. Ad. Oh wait, we're on ads? Oh, it's not an ad. It means we reached an hour. So here's what I'm gonna do. I need to take a little break. So you guys just go ahead and chill for a minute. I'm gonna put it on a different channel. I will be right back. I'm actually gonna leave it on this screen for you guys. But I think the line work's coming along okay. There's still a lot of work to do. I'm gonna start putting on line weight here once I get done with the body details. But I also gotta finish her hair up here. But we're getting there. All right, I'll be right back, Phyllis. All right. Turn the music down a tad. All right. So I have this special drawing glove that I like to use that helps prevent like oils and stuff from like transferring onto my screen. I can't find the damn thing. I'm using this other one for now. Alright. I'm going to try to move a little faster with this because I realize I'm taking a little bit of time. Maybe a little too much time. So, all of this kind of comes on. Alright. Okay. No, not a touchscreen glove. It's I guess it's a touchscreen. It's just it's a glove that just helps your hand glide on the screen a little easier. Okay. So maybe it is. I don't know. I could be mistaken. Okay. So with hairs, I'll maybe kind of like. You think your D&D OC could take her? I'd like to see that fight. Alright. So I'm gonna give a little bit of let's see. One thing I still kinda struggle on is the nose. I've never liked drawing noses. And I usually have a ton of reference to help me with them. I never much liked them then, I'll tell you that. I think I'll give her some little bit of a wrinkle there. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna switch to a very small thickness for the pencil, and I'm going to go on a different layer, and I'm gonna start working in smaller little details that will help like suggest her volume. So one of the good things about drawing is people aren't generally sticklers for neatness and tidiness. So it's okay if we get a little loosey-goosey here. So what I might start doing is utilize the smaller pencil to start suggesting like direction of the fibers of her muscles. I think sometimes even people appreciate the sloppiness, like it's not sterile, if that makes any sense. Alright, so one thing I'm gonna have to keep in mind here is the tension that would result from her breast tissue point against the fabric. So the tension points would be kind of like around here, around there, which would mean that a bunch of this would be where we would have a bunch of fabric being pulled every which way. Alright. So my reference doesn't actually have this. She doesn't have a leotard, she's just totally naked. So I gotta kind of apply this as best as I can. Because I don't have any reference for this. Oop. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and actually so get rid of those. Alright. So I'm gonna go up here to where her sternocleidomastoideus is and start working in some more lines that would suggest it. Same thing over here. And then over here would be her Adam's apple. Women also have Adam's apples. They're just a little less pronounced. Common misconception that only men have them. Let's see. I might add a little more thickness to that upper lip. And I'm gonna a bit of value to the edges of her teeth. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's see. I still got more to do. Okay, here's something I almost forgot. I need to actually go back and put her leotard line in again. So let me switch to a thicker. So I'm gonna ride down the side of her pectoralis major, come down over her obliques, and then wrap around her latissimus dorsi. All right. What's going on? I am also in California. Oh wait, you're in Canada. Okay, when you wrote CA is our abbreviation for California. So I thought you said California for a second. And hello, person from Russia. All right. So. Okay, so her oblique kind of will ride over the edge of her pelvis. So a little bit of indication of that wouldn't be a bad thing. Yeah. California be, well, that's where I'm from, too. Morj. I would like to believe that could happen, someday. It's not like Marvel only does, like, you know, they only do the live action stuff. I like to believe that there's hope for like a My Adventure with Superman type show. I just wouldn't I wouldn't go hoping too hard for it. But I do know that if it does happen, I'd love to be a part of it. Okay. So I got her serratus over on this end. Alright. So what I'm doing right now is just kind of working in some body details I probably didn't do on the first pass. And we're starting to get a little more definition to her body. Right. And maybe over here it looks a little, let me see. Weirdly wavy, huh? No, I think it could be... Okay, I think I see the problem. So it's because of this. So let me go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, I misjudged the muscle. One of her contractor muscles in the back of her arm. So let me go ahead and change that. So then I could buy that a little more. Okay. What's going on, Seg? I drink water every day, Mosh, and I actually do go outside for breaks. Last thing I want to do is deprive myself of vitamin D. It's a practice I recommend for everybody. Because staying inside all day, it's not good for the soul. Alright. And the other thing is, like, drawing's my livelihood. I gotta draw pretty much every day. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let me start working in some extra lines for her hair. I'm just trying to get the flow more or less together. So when I start doing the lighting, I have grain to follow. Much like fabric, though, you want to look for the tension points where the hair goes. And there's also points on the head where hair originates from. It's a good idea to learn those before you go too deep into the hair. Let's see. I use a mixture of both, Wolfman. I use both real reference and other artists. See, what I'd like to do is have, just when I'm surfing on my phone and I find something good, I'll save it to my phone and then, add it to my file later. I have a massive folder of just, references of several kinds, male references, female references, references that deal in musculature, some that deal with, faces and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. See you, silly lasagna. All right. I'm gonna start doing line weight now. Because I gotta move on to, coloring soon. What I might do here, though, yeah, I'll keep this like this. So what I'm gonna do very quickly is get her base color in there. So how I'm gonna do that, it's pretty simple. It saves a lot of time if you're using Photoshop. You just select the outside of the line work that you're currently on. So that'll be these two. Oh, looks like we have an opening somewhere. Oh, I see. Duh. Let me go ahead and merge these together. Alright. So it selects the outside of the line work that I've made so far. So all I gotta do to quickly fill all this in is I'm gonna inverse my selection and then contract the selection by like 2 pixels. So let me go ahead and inverse it, and then I'm gonna contract. I'll do it by like 2 pixels. And so now, when I use my paint bucket tool, it'll just fill in that area and not go outside the line work. It's pretty useful. All right, we're getting there. Hey, yeah, no problem, Seg. It was fun watching you problem solve. I always get a kick of seeing how other animators tackle problems. All right, so that just doesn't look right there. I'm gonna go ahead and just erase that. Yeah, you want to look out for weird little artifacts. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to save, and I'm going to start playing around with their line weight. So I want to reiterate that I'm having the light come from behind her. Because when you have like light coming from behind the character, and like, you know, the front of this character is like enveloped in shadow, she seems to loom a little more over the viewer. So I wanted to make her seem more imposing. So I figured having the light behind her and her kind of like blocking out the light a little bit would help to that end. All right. I don't mind memes. I don't generally go on Discord to look at memes. You know what I mean? I see Discord as more of a it's sort of a business thing. It's where I go to talk to other artists and stuff, and you know, spitball, and it's not one of my like go-to social destinations, if that makes any sense. All right. So I'm on a different layer for the line weight, because I don't want to interfere with the original line work in case I need to go back and change something. No, you don't have to stop sending them. That's not what I'm saying. It's just I may not check them so much. So right now I'm just adding line weight to the muscles and the areas that are going to be enveloped in shadow. So here I'm actually going to add a little bit of an offset. And I like to round these off so that way they don't just appear like I ignored them. Okay. No. So I'm going to give her Adam's apple a little more volume. And I'm going to add just a bit of line work to the sternocleidomastoid. I like saying that word. Wolfman, yeah, I got a whole bunch of traditional artwork on my website. I can show you guys a little later. One of the unfortunate truths about artwork done today is a lot of folks really want to stay on digital, and they tend to ignore practicing the fundamentals with just a basic paper and pencil. There's just some things that you learn better by having absolutely no electronic assistance, if that makes any sense. So all of this stuff that I'm doing right here, I could easily do on paper. It would take a while, but I could do it. But I don't want to. Alright. I'm gonna need to go... Her eyelashes... Eyelashes are one of those... one of those things I never really get right. Let me see. Let me pull up a reference. Let's see how other artists do it. I take a lot of inspiration from anime, but I do like looking at Western pictures as well. Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna do her lashes on a separate All right. Yeah, I've animated on paper before. I don't like it. It's a lot of work, but I definitely have done it. Alright, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more thickness to her. Okay. I'm not gonna go too crazy with her lashes, because although I do want her to look feminine, I don't want to go overboard with it. Unless it's just kind of how I do it. I'm not really a huge lashes guy. Not very good at them. So the bridge of her nose would probably need to come more like this. Darn it, I'm on the wrong layer. That's why I don't like to use too many layers, because it's so easy to get lost in them if you have, like, you know, dozens of them. Alright. I might... You know what? I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna drag this. Oop. Let me go ahead and merge these. You know what? I'll leave this alone. I might change it a little later. Alright. Line weights. Back to it. Okay. So, let me make sure I have my reference pulled up so I can see what parts of her will be in shadow. So all of this up here, not so much the fact that it's in shadow, but because it's a very prominent, feature on her chest, the clavicles. All right, so her breast tissue, because it's kind of like jutting out like that, I kind of want to have some suggestion that the force is getting dragged that direction. So I'm going to add a little bit of line weight over towards where her breast tissue would kind of reach its like main arc. Right there. So I'm mixing it with the fact that it's gonna be enveloped in shadow down here. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna have that shadow kind of merge into her rectus abdominis and a little bit of her serratus. and obliques. Cool. I might add just a little more down here. It's good to kind of like eyeball it and just see what you think of it away from the reference. Okay. Okay, I might, because of the fact her breast tissue kind of like hangs over her rectus abdominis, I'm gonna have to envelop some of those areas where it dips in thicker line weight. Alright. So there's just too much going on here, so I'm probably just gonna fill that up. So the less you have going on that's unintentional, the better it looks. Alright. So because of the fact her deltoid's coming out behind, or it's gonna fade out behind her bicep, I'm gonna have the line weight get thicker where they meet. So let's do it like this. I want to give the illusion that it's disappearing behind this muscle. Okay. All of that can stay as it is. It's fine. Alright. So you just keep trudging through and doing similar minded things to different parts of her. So the bicep brachii is actually split into two parts. So I might have some indication of that. Alright. Now, because of the fact her biceps like are supposed to be huge and like very powerful, I'm gonna go ahead and just increase the line thickness to help sell it. Alright. Then it's gonna fade behind her extensors. Now her extensors are the same thing. They're supposed to be a little more powerful. So I'm going to increase their line weight. Alright, so her legs come in front of her arm. So I gotta indicate that here by using line weight. I'm not going to cut into the drawing of her legs. I'm going to cut into the drawing of her arm instead. Okay. That's one of the cool. That's one of the things about animation they don't harp on so much in school. You have to be a good. You have to be a confident draftsman. So like doing these still jobs once in a while, it does nothing but good for an animator. Because in the end, that's all this is really, it's just drawings. Okay. Get a little Hank Hill butt down here. All right. Yeah, physical stuff, it has its charms. Okay. I'm gonna make the sides of her rectus abdominis on the left side away from the sun be a little thicker. I'm gonna need to have a few more locks of hair come down for her here. Alright. Shadow. So all of this over here. She's gonna be wearing her leotard, the standard one. I just haven't really penciled it in yet. But I will. Be patient. I need to make sure her body is sound. Alright, so all of this is gonna be in shadow. So I'm gonna make everything here a little on the thicker side. So these muscles all kind of intersect into each other. This is the obliques and the serratus. They interlock, and that's what forms those little zigzags on your abs. So I gotta spend a little bit of time here and sell that. The zigzagginess being an interlocking, almost zipper type thing. I don't have recommendations because I haven't used any others besides Wacom. I would recommend Wacom just because they really are the best. Like I've used one other at school, the Weon. It's okay. It's fine. It's perfectly fine, but Wacom is it's a name brand, it's reliable, it's got excellent support. And it's got insane levels of sensitivity. So I would recommend Wacoms. Alright. So let me go ahead and save. We're getting there, guys. Her body's starting to have some definition. That's true. That said, I haven't studied, I'm talking about the line weight, that Evan has mentioned. I've never actually, I studied it briefly for a while, and I took away some lessons, in terms of where to apply thickness. I couldn't recite to you where they go. I mostly just try to feel it out. All of this, pretty much all of this is going to be in shadow. And since her breast tissue is going to be in shadow too, that means I got to make her breasts have thicker lines. Now, same deal I did with the center of the rectus abdominis. I gotta have the intersecting lines there blend into it. Okay. All right. Ah, man. Oh. Yeah, drawing is very steep learning curve. It's not something you can just pick up and master in the course of a month or even a year. It's like that's something you gotta seriously devote time to, unless you're just seriously that talented. But I've been around a lot of artists, and I've met very few who were so talented they didn't have to practice all the time. All right, let's see. We're pretty close. I actually kind of like how this is coming out. It's not perfect, but it's okay. All those weeks, all those months spent studying anatomy, they don't pay dividends immediately when you're learning it, but if you seriously take the time to do it, it'll work wonders for you. Okay, so all right, so let's see. The edges of her her left arm here are gonna be in light, so I'm not gonna go too crazy with the line thickness over there. And it's actually gonna be somewhat highlighted back here too, so I'm not gonna go too crazy back here either. Pretty much all of this is in shadow. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna need some line suggestion for her breast tissue. So let's see. All right. All right. Let's see. This is more of a pinup. I don't have any plans for this besides just the drawing. But that said, I like it a lot, and I wouldn't mind using it as a base for something later. I feel like I could make an easy lip sync of this. Like, you know how a lot of anime will you know how a lot of anime will reuse the same drawings and just, like, you know, make the mouth move? I was thinking of doing something like that with this. Yeah, the final version of this will be a Patreon thing for, like, you know, for about a week. And they'll be the only ones getting the high-res version they can download. I gotta give them something, you know what I mean? Alright, let's see. So all of this, actually. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a stickler or nothing. It's just, you know, this stuff, it takes time, and they are supporting me monetarily. So I want to give them a little bit of love. Okay. Looking at the reference, I think this is okay. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do now. Well, actually, no, I forgot something. I have to define the edges of her leotard. So it's gonna come over. Let me go ahead and make another one. So it's gonna come down over her crotch like this. And we're looking at her in perspective. So it's gonna kind of come over. Kind of come down. Over like that. And so then for this, it's kind of the other way. Perspective. I hate perspective so much. So it's going to kind of come over, down, kind of swing in. Okay. Dude, perspective is the goddamn devil. That's worth practicing if you haven't. Okay. Oh shoot. You know what I totally didn't do yet? I didn't add her I didn't add the design of her sleeves. I gotta put this on pause for a second, because I need to pull up her reference. So let's see. Let's see, huh? One sec, fellas. Alright, sweet. Alright, so her sleeves come down like... Alright, here we go. Let me get the design of her sleeves. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have a couple of little wrinkles come around. Just suggest perspective and fabric. Not too crazy in depth, but whatever. So this kind of comes over and circles down and around her bicep like that. And so then this one comes down. Okay, almost screwed that up. Hugs it a little looser. All right. So then this, her extensor is actually the edge of her design on her shirt. Alright, cool. So then it comes down around like here. And then goes around her arm. So all this will be white and this will be purple. So then we're going to do the opposite for the other arm. So it kind of comes over and around. It kind of comes over. And since this one isn't quite so prominently forward, it would like, so this one right here, this object, how it would look in perspective is kind of like this, right? So you got the cylinder and it's kind of coming towards us. This one is sort of the same thing, but not quite as intense. So the cross hatches are a little thinner. So I'm going to make that the case here. Alright, cool. Sweet. Well, thank you, my good sir. Oh, shoot, I almost forgot. I need to put in the design of her, of the purple part of her torso. So it kind of comes down over her clavicle, then rides her chest down, and then circles over the tension point. I'm going to do the same thing for the other end. So it's riding down to the clavicle, rides her chest, down to where it turns into breast tissue, and juts out over the tension point. And then they're both going to meet in the middle right around here. Close enough. So then good. Okay, so then I need to actually put in her I need to put in her design for her midsection too. So let me go ahead and do that really fast. Well, before I do anything else, let me just go ahead and save so I don't accidentally lose this. So this is this costume design is actually a pretty good way to help define her contours. So the purple, right, is gonna be riding over the entire shape of her rectus abdominis, right? I could draw it flat, but I'm actually gonna make it ride the shapes of her abs. So let me just make sure I have a good end point. And I'm actually going to reduce the opacity. Oh, wait, I just totally realized I did these on separate layers, but didn't need to. Yeah, these are the same thing. Alright. So I'm going to actually reduce the opacity of these guys, so that way it just isn't confusing. All right. So let's make her costume look the way it's supposed to. So it's coming down towards us. They're gonna intersect with the bottom of her rectus abdominis right around here. Now, since we're in perspective, it's gonna be a little closer on this side. I am left-handed, yes. Alright, so they don't gotta be like exactly hugging a specific contour, but as long as it suggests it. It just adds a little more definition to her body. Now that isn't gonna work. Let's see. There we go. Hey man, a lot of the greats were lefties. We're making our comeback though. Alright, here we go. It's okay if they don't quite match up. The world will go on. Well, Da Vinci was left-handed. The other two were me and myself. Let's see. Alright. Let's see. I made the purple hug her pelvis and where her pelvis and where her pelvis and her rectus abdominis meet up. So I'm just gonna make that write that down. There we go. And I'll do the same thing on the other end. Alright. I'm not gonna draw her gloves because we really don't need to. Alright. Okay, so I think... Well, oh wait, I still need to do her eyes really quick. Her eyes still need a little bit of love. So I'm gonna make them kind of blend in with their lashes a bit. I wouldn't say that lefties are better artists, but I guess I see your reasoning. My brother, well, actually I've got two brothers. One is left-handed and one is right-handed, and well, my left-handed brother still does art to this day. My right-handed brother kind of gave it up a while back, but I saw him do some blueprint drawing recently, and it was actually really damn good. So that stuff like that mixes the left and right side of the brain. Yeah, not a great drawing of hair, but whatever. Oh, let me go ahead and put in an indicator for the forward third of the deltoid. There we go. And I'm gonna put in just some little cross hatching marks for her armband. And just for the sake of consistency, I'm gonna draw in that little sleeve where her phone would go. I'm not gonna draw her phone in this time, but I don't have to fucking... Oh, I'm sorry for my language. I don't have to worry about folks asking, how's the phone gonna fit in that? Yeah, I guess I never really thought of it that way. All right. I think this is good. I think I'll live with this. So let me go ahead and turn all of the opacities up. I think we got ourselves a decent set of line work. Let me go ahead and get rid of all this weird stuff surrounding your face. All right. So what I'm gonna do to make sure I just don't lose it. Well, actually, you know what? I could still do a little more. I feel like there's a little more line weight I can add. Where's the line weight layer? There we go. Cool. Yeah, if it's looking just a little too samey in some areas, I gotta do something. Wow, it actually did this part too. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do now. I'm actually gonna import this so I can use her colors. All right. So I'm not really a fan of coloring either, but I'm not a fan of coloring in still artwork either, but it's got to be done. All right. Well, let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and make separate groups. So this will be her line work. That's gonna be her text bubble, so I won't mess with that. I'll leave this up there. I'm gonna put all of these in a rough folder. Just we got less to worry about. So this is the background I'm gonna use, just something simple that kind of resembles the sky. And we can see where the light source is. I want her to blend in with that pretty well, and not be noticeably like, you know, a cartoon in what looks like a semi-realistic background. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with her. Skin. I'm going to keep all of her colors in the coloring phase as they are in their base lighting, so I can make changes to them all at once later for atmospherics. It's okay if I go a little bit over the lines here, because I'm going to be using multiple layers to color her. Some are going to go in front of the others. All right. Yeah, we're not really focusing on her legs here though, but I definitely would like to in the next one. Because actually one area that I still struggle with is joints. I'm not very good at drawing like knees and ankles. So I would like to spend a little bit of time there. I'm just going to do this once, so I don't got to do all that careful work. I'm keeping my underlayer there, so that way I don't have to, that way I don't gotta worry about any gaps that expose it to the background. What I'll probably do is change the underlayer, like this sort of beige pink, to like a gray, so that way it kind of like blends in with everything. That's her skin. Let's go ahead and do her, let's do her fucking, her leotard. I'm gonna put that below her skin. I don't have to be quite so careful with it. Oh wait, I got an idea. So I'm going to duplicate that underlayer. I'm going to get rid of all the parts that are not her leotard, which are her hair. Well, which is her hair. And that would also be this right here, but I'm going to go ahead and leave that as is. So I'm going to change the color. There. Now I want to make it the faintest bit not white. So I'm allowing a little bit of a another color to seep in. I kind of want that color to be like red. So like around there And I'll add maybe a little bit of lightness. Cool. Yo, is there anyone else in the chat? I think it's just Tiger. It's just been you the whole time talking. No offense, Tiger. I'm just seeing like nothing but like messages from you the whole time. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. So here's what I'm gonna do now. That's actually maybe a little too saturated. Let's see. So that's pure. You know what? Here's an idea. I'll do it on a straight gray background. Now I'll be able to see the differences a little easier. That's good. Right around there. All right, so next I'm going to do purple. I dig it. So what I'm gonna do for the purple is I'll go outside the lines a little bit, and I'll just I'll delete all the stuff that goes outside of it. Yeah, I'm not a huge coloring fan. Never really have been. It's more of a necessary evil. I don't really know what that means, Alana. So you care to explain? I'm still here, guys. I'm just kind of focusing. I might change the color of the might change the color of this. It's a little too bluish purple. I gotta make it a little more red. But yeah, no, I don't choose what people, you know, want to focus on. I draw or stylized, and yeah, I accentuate the feminine attributes, but I wouldn't consider it anything terribly provocative. I've seen some pretty weird stuff on the internet. I don't think this is anywhere close to any of that stuff. Oh, I knew I screwed something up. So actually, she needs to have a bit of purple here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Matthias, I don't know. I didn't feel it was entirely necessary to go and, you know, announce it. It's kind of like a whoever comes can watch it sort of thing. Alright, so let me do this. I mean, in the end, it's only a drawing. It's like... So now I can just erase all the stuff that went outside the lines. No problems. Alright, let's do her. Yeah, I kind of want her, I kind of want this to be a little redder. So let's see. A little more towards the red side. It's a little too much. Too purple. Let's see, right around there. Alright, let me do her hair next. Let's see. I might need to change the values on these. I've had to do it for the past couple. You know what? Make my job a little easier. I'm gonna get rid of all of this stuff. And I'll just repeat the process for hair. Thank you, Jam. Working hard to get this at least blocked out with its shading today. So to do her hair, I'm gonna just copy this back layer or under layer. Get rid of all the stuff that's not her hair. Keep that behind her body. There we go. Good. Alright, now I'm gonna do her eyes really quick. And her teeth. Oh no, wait, I almost forgot her brows. So her brows are gonna be the same color as her hair. But I'm gonna have to do it on her skin layer. Let's see. And just like I did in the cartoon, I'm going to keep her eye color the same color as it would be in her human form. It's purely to suggest that she's in control of her body. Not the Hulk. Alright, let's see. Eyes. I'm going to do her eyes. Let's see. So I'm not going to make her, what's the dang word I'm looking for? The white of her eyes. I'm not gonna make that like straight white. I'm gonna make it a more subdued white with a slight green. So I'll go ahead and do them both at the same time. What's going on, Heisen? Alright. So let me go ahead and change this because right now it sticks out a lot. So I'm going to turn it way down. Probably like take her down. Probably around 12. I'm going to colorize it. But make it green. Right there. Good. Wolfman. I think I actually answered. Did I answer that question from you earlier? I picked her because I just kind of felt like it one day. I watched the show and I was like, I could do better than that, and so the rest is history. All right, let me go ahead and do her iris or her oh god, she's evil. Let me see. So it's gonna be more of like a go. And that can be her that can be her base eye color. Alright, so I'm gonna need to make her teeth so same deal as I did with the eyes. I gotta make it kind of a more subdued color. Alright, something isn't right here. I think it's her eyes. I'll have to deal with that later. Next is her little strap. Let me go ahead and do that. I'll just do that one little section by itself. Okay. So I think that's fine. Oh wait, I missed something right here. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna look for any just major inconsistencies and correct them really quick. I think everything is pretty much set. Oh shoot! Yeah, you're right. The freckles. I almost forgot the freckles. My bad. Let me go ahead and do those really quick. So. Mateo, I finished that up on the side. But I think for now, guys, I might actually wrap it up here. I'm gonna do a little more work. I have to go take care of something. But I will show you guys more of this later. I might wrap it up here, guys. So I appreciate everyone coming today. And you will see more later. So you guys take it easy, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Yeah, sorry, Darth, but I gotta wrap it up. There's always next time. Alright, you have a good day, guys.